All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode to the Beautiful Struggle podcast. And this is episode number 117. And you guys definitely are in for a treat for today. We got a very special guest on the podcast. If you've been following me on Instagram, you guys seen that I was recently at a business and entrepreneurial conference this past weekend. And usually, what I love to do is the following week, I love to make a podcast about what I learned, some of the things I took away from the conference and whatnot. But today, we have the privilege of having one of the speakers from the conference on the podcast. So, super excited about today's conversation. A little bit about my guest. He is, like I said, a speaker, entrepreneur. He's also a crypto investor, and he also owns his own podcast called Mornings with Neno. Um, Everybody, welcome to the podcast, Neno Torres. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing blessed and highly favored, Chris. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast, bro. The fact that you were able to, connect with me at the event and, just remind me about how amazing, a podcast you've been running. I want to give you a huge shout out. Love the
Yes, sir.
name Beautiful Struggle Podcast. And, I know the work that it takes because I have one, man. And,
Yeah.
I appreciate all the value that you're providing for every single person that listens to these podcasts. And, whoever's listening to this, I want you guys to know that Chris is an incredible individual, somebody who truly cares about people. And he's definitely people over profits. And he's doing this podcast to help you win and get you elevated to new levels. So, Chris, thank you again, my brother.
Yes, sir. I love it. Love it. Thank you for that. Before we jump into it, I do have a quick story I wanted to tell, right? Before we hit record, we're talking about timing and everything works when it's supposed to. So I actually met Nano at another conference almost a year ago. Same thing, heard him speak, went up to him. I was like, yo, I really need you on the podcast. At the time, try to get him on, but the timing wasn't the best on both ends. But the beginning of this year, my uncle hit me up and he was like, yo, you got to check out this dude. He goes live every single morning. It's super motivational, a lot of great value. I'm like, that sounds really familiar. Send me his Instagram. Sure enough, he sent me Nano's Instagram. I'm like, bro, I know exactly who that is. And what I got from that, I was like, this is kind of a sign for me to reach out to him again and try again, right? And it's crazy because a couple of days later, literally just a couple of days later, Jay announced that you were going to be a speaker at the event that we just attended. And I was like, yep, he's coming on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it happen. So and now we're here. So perfect timing.
Yeah, everything happens in divine timing, right? It's
Yeah.
just so amazing how it all works out, like how all the pieces get put into place. And
Yeah.
look, you're at the event, we get a chance to chop it up again. Everything is at a good time now.
Yeah.
And it's even better because I feel like now I'm in such a better place mentally as
Mhm.
well.
That's
We were
awesome.
going through some things back in those days. I remember the first Better Way. And it was not that I wasn't at my best, but I remember where we were at as a business and who I was at, and to know where I'm at today, how much clearer I am and how much better I feel and how amazing the year has already started for me has been incredible, bro. So I'm excited for this, man. We're going to have a good call right here.
Absolutely. So and again, shout out to my uncle for tapping into your platform and my
Yeah, shout
platform.
out to him, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to him for sure.
consistently. So, obviously, I've heard your story multiple times, but our audience, the Beautiful Struggle audience, has not heard your story. We love to know your background, your upbringing, where you from, and the whole nine.
Yeah, bro, absolutely. Well, for those that don't know me, my name is Neno. I'm 27 years old. I'm born and raised in Washington Heights, New York City. If you're from New York, you know
Mhm.
Washington Heights. There's also like a show or a movie on it. I haven't watched it, but pretty cool place. Awesome. I come from a Dominican background. And growing up, my whole life, all I ever wanted to do was play professional baseball.
Mm.
For any kid who grows up in a Dominican family, for them, playing baseball is like, that's tradition. That's like everything to us.
Everything.
And, I had dreams of playing professional and being able to, buy my mom and dad that house in the Dominican Republic and, retire them and travel the world and live a life of abundance. I had big dreams, and I would see how, the people that I was looking up to growing up would live, the Alex Rodriguez of the world,
Mhm.
the Derek Jeters. These are the people I grew up watching. And I said, I want to have that life. I want to live like that. I want to be able to do that for my family one day. So, I went to college, I graduated, and, my senior year in college, I actually, I was playing for my school, and it was the last game of the season. And I'm on the board, to get signed. I'm the Friday night guy, and that means I'm the number one pitcher. Okay, give me 1 second.
You good?
And I had to, put myself in a position where, what do I do now? Because I'm a senior in college, and what tended to happen was I actually hurt my shoulder that last game. And with that last game hurting my shoulder, my baseball career came to an end. So I was now put in the toughest situation that I had ever been in my whole entire life, because of the simple fact that I didn't know what was next in my life. I didn't know, what I was going to do, because I dedicated 15, 16 years of my life to baseball. This was all I did from the moment I woke up to the moment I fell asleep, morning, night, day, morning, night, every single day. So I didn't have no work experience. I didn't have no job. I didn't have no resume. And now I had to enter the real world. And I was scared, to be honest. I hit rock bottom. And they say that at rock bottom comes your biggest blessing. And my biggest blessing was, entrepreneurship. A friend of mine who I actually used to play baseball with told me a little bit about building your own online business, investing into cryptocurrency, NFTs, the financial markets. And in the beginning, you're not too convinced that it's something that you can build a career out of, because you don't really know anybody who's actually successful at it. Most people that I know, they went to school, they got a degree, and they became, doctors, businessmen, sales representatives. They did this, they did that. But, my boy was, traveling the world, making money from his phone, being an influencer on Instagram. And I'm like, that's a little outside of like what I thought the traditional way of going is. So, I was kind of hesitant to jump in, but I'm like, you know what? I'll never forget the words he said. He says, look, Neno, you have nothing to lose, but you have everything to gain. If it doesn't work out for you, fine. At least now you know. But if it does, you have everything to gain, even if it's just a little bit. And those words always stuck with me. And, I started to run it up. I've been an entrepreneur now for 4 years, a digital entrepreneur now for 4 years. I've been able to, make multiple six figures within this space. I've traveled the world to multiple different countries, 9 to be exact. I have my own baseball academy now in the Dominican Republic, where I'm investing into young baseball players as well. And, I'm a successful crypto investor. I'm an NFT holder. I've, given back to communities in different countries. And, I live in my beautiful condo here in Miami on the beach now. And, I'm grateful for it. But, I don't say none of that things to impress anybody. I say it to impress upon people that, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was broke, I was lost, I was confused. And what I want all of you guys to know, that in a matter of the next 2 to 3 years, your whole entire life could revolutionize. Like, you could be where you are right now, and you can absolutely change your life. And I love the name of your podcast, because, when we look back at it, it was a beautiful struggle to get here. It was a beautiful struggle. At the time, it was hard. At the time, it looked ugly. But now that I look back, I'm like, man, I needed those struggles. I needed those moments. I needed to be down. I needed people to doubt me and not believe in me. And because of that beautiful struggle that I had, I am who I am today, and who I'm going to be in the future. It will be because of the beautiful struggle, bro. So that's my story.
Love that. So I'm curious, your parents, you were in the mindset of you wanting to take, maybe move them out the hood, or move them out their current situation, get them a nice home, maybe a nice car, get them a better life, right? So you had that mindset. But I wonder, in their perspective, what were they thinking when you got hurt? And maybe when you started to jump into entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is very unorthodox for the traditional parents, right? It's not safe. It's real risky, especially for parents coming from the DR. What was their perspective? Were they really supportive? What was that relationship with your parents?
Yeah, well, for the first part, my mom is a very understanding and realistic person. So she's like, you know, if my son doesn't make it to the major leagues, it's no big deal.
Right.
The person that kind of took it a little harder was my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad was crushed because, you know, my dad would go to my games. You know, he believed in me. Like he was that dad that at the family, you know, gatherings, he was always talking about how good his son was and how my son is gonna make it to the major leagues, and he's, you know, he's that guy, and he, you know, he would always talk about me, and that one was the one that was really, really hard. And I can tell that it took him some time for him to heal from that, even after, you know, all of it. And it was tough. And, you know, my parents, I will say this, bro, they always been very supportive of almost everything that I've done. They always trusted me. The problem was when I got started with entrepreneurship, because I told them I started it, but the problem was, you know, in this business, sometimes in the beginning, you know, you don't make any money. You know, it's like you're starting from scratch. You have to build your network up. You have to found the foundation. You have to kind of get the groove of things. And, you know, for the first few months, even you know, within the year, honestly, you know, I wasn't making much money, bro. I wasn't really helping with bills. You know, all I was making was enough for me. You know, I wasn't even making enough to, you know, I was making $1,000 a month, $600 a month. So whatever would come in was for my phone bills, for this, and by the end of the week, it was already gone. I didn't even have anything for them. So those were the times when my parents were very, I wouldn't say unsupportive, but they would bicker at me like, you know, go do something else. What you're doing, you're on calls all day. You know, you're posting on Instagram, you're doing all this stuff. You're at home, but where's the money? You know, where is it at? You know, you've been working for a year, and they're mad at me because they also know, like, you know, yo, my son has a degree from one of the top schools in New York City, St. John's University. Like, he could easily go get a job right now and make a few $1,000s a month, you know, instead of here struggling, working all day, every day. And that was the tough part right there. That was the hard part. And, you know, it took time, but, you know, after 2 years of struggling, you know, things finally changed. That at the 2-year mark, I started to make enough money where I could help out. I was started taking care of the bills. And that's when everything kind of like slowed down. And now they're like 100% supportive. They see it. You know, they've met so many people that have talked highly of me to them, and like, yo, your son is this and that. And, you know, I was just also thankful for all of it. But in the beginning, it was a little hard, but they've always been pretty supportive though, bro.
Absolutely. I love that. So I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about more of the mindset aspect. You know, hearing you speak at the conference, I have a bunch of notes from you. The first one and second ones, right? So you spoke about, I think the what you said, the example you gave is like, hey, the difference between a good swing and a bad swing when reaching your goals, right? I think the example you used, it was something like, a good swing is you having a goal to make, I don't know, $30,000 in a couple months, and you end up making 25,000. That's a good swing, right? A bad swing is you having that same goal, but you only make $1,000, or you only make a $500, something like that. That maybe that's the bad swing, right? In different perspectives. So I want to talk to the people out there and get your perspective on, man, people having a tough start to the year, right? What are we in, March right now? It just started. You know, at the end of 2021, they're like, 2022 is going to be a great life. It's going to be a great year. I'm going to hit all my goals. And life just happens, right? And maybe it's not because these people are not disciplined, or just life happens. Like maybe they had a passing away in the family. Maybe they got sick that threw them out for a month or so. I want to talk to those people that are now in March that are dealing with an uphill battle right now, and how they can shift their mindset, maybe how they can finish the year strong. Could you give us some perspective on that, and what you think, you know, you would recommend to people out there?
Yeah, bro, that's a phenomenal you know, question and insight. And that, I love that story, by the way, of the good swing and the bad swing.
Yeah,
but
elaborate on it if you want. Go ahead.
yeah. You know, we usually, you know, and I'm gonna put it in perspectives that anybody can relate with, right? You know, and let's say, for example, you know, New Year resolution comes up, right? And one of our things is, you know, we're gonna start going to the gym 5 days a week, Chris. Right? That's our goal. That's our new year. Yo, we got to get in shape, bro. We're going to start going to the gym 5 days a week, bro. That's all we got to do. This every week. We got to go 5 days a week, right? This is the difference between is actually good miss, bad miss, right? A good miss would be we go to the gym for a whole month, and that whole month we get a chance and we really go 4 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, we get it 4, some weeks we did it 5. That's a good miss, because even though you miss one day, even 3 would still be almost a good miss. You still went a good majority of the time, at least more than 60-70% of the time, which is a good miss. Okay. Now, a bad thing would be if we say, yo, Chris, we're going to go to the gym, 5 days this week, and we only go 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
Or we even don't go at all, or
Right.
we go 1 whole week and then the next 3 weeks we're non-existent. That's a bad miss. So what happens is, Chris, is a lot of people sometimes they tend to say they're going to do things and they don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is when they don't do it, you start to feel guilty about it. And then those feelings, what tends to happen is those feelings make you feel down. You start to not believe in yourself because you said you were going to do it and you didn't do it. So now belief starts to come in, doubt, all these negative feelings start to happen. And you keep yourself at that low level more and more and more, because you're thinking about that, you become that. So you'll continue to make more excuses. You'll continue to do more of that, and you'll keep yourself there. Now, the beautiful thing about it is when you do what you say you're going to do, you gain confidence. Think about it. If we say we're going to go to the gym and we go to the gym, how do we feel after? We feel good. We feel excited, because we said we were going to go and we went. Even better, when it even feels better? On those days that you didn't want to go. You remember those days when you didn't want to go to the gym and you're like there contemplating and trying to find every excuse as to why you shouldn't go to the gym. But, you see it raining outside. Oh, it's an ugly day outside. I think I'm going to just skip the gym. But then you end up going to the gym. You have a great workout. After the workout, you're like, yo, to think that I was actually going to miss the gym today, and look at how good it feels, right? Now, that equates to what you should be doing right now. Like, people need to stay true to what they say they're going to do if they want to have a good rest of the year. The reason why people are not having a good start to the year, and I'm only speaking for some, because I'm sure that there's some listening to this that have great starts, right? But for the ones who are not having a great start to the year, is the reason for it is because they're saying they're going to do things and they're not doing, and they're not staying true to their word. All right. There's a great book that'll teach you about this. It's called The 4 Agreements. And the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Okay. Because that is so important. I don't know about you, bro, but my mom growing up and my dad always told me that the most important thing that a man has is his word. So that always stuck with me. So if I say I'm going to read that book, I read that book. If I say I'm going to listen to that audio, I'm going to listen to that audio. If I say I'm going to go to the gym a certain times a week, I'm going to go to the gym those certain times a week. Okay. So if you want to have a good year, stay true to what you say you're going to do. But if you don't, then things will slow down for you and you'll spend the rest of the year basically playing catch up, and which is what happens to a lot of people.
Right. Absolutely. I'm curious if you can walk us through if you even had a bad start to the year, if you ever had a bad start to the year, or maybe if not, talk to us about a recent failure that you had to overcome and you got over, and how you navigated that.
I remember one year I had a bad start to the year. I can't remember the exact year. I think it might have been 2019, but 2019 ended up being one of my best years ever, but I started slow. And I remember I allowed a lot of things to get to me at the beginning of the year. There was like I just said, there's a lot of things I said I was going to do that I didn't do. I didn't go to the gyms. I didn't read the books. I didn't go to the events. I wasn't true to me for the first 3 months. And bro, I remember being so mad at myself because I saw how fast 3 months passed. I'm like, yo, I haven't done anything this year. And it was kind of like right now, like, think about it, bro. It's already March. Like, we're already on the 3rd month. 60 plus days have already passed. Think about how crazy that is. Right. Next thing you know is the summer. Then is the fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then 2023. And we're talking and we're having this conversation, again. But, I started the first 3 months a little slow. And I knew that I made a mistake because I heard this training from one of my mentors where he talked about that the first 3 months of the year are the most important, because that's your foundation that you're going to build on for the rest of the year. So he said, if you slack off in the first 3 months, your foundation is weak now for the rest of the year because you have nothing strong to build upon. right? But if he said, if you lock in and you build that solid foundation and you do what you're supposed to do each and every single day, and you make sure that, you know, you're staying on top of your stuff, you're being disciplined, you're being consistent, you're not allowing the outside forces to affect your peace, and you're not slipping up, the rest of the year will be abundant for you because you created the habit at the beginning of the year. That's it. From there, you can literally have an autopilot year if you just stay consistent. So, you know, I remember that. And what I did was, okay, I was like, okay, I can't do anything about the first 3 months. I slacked off. But bro, from March to June, I became like, it was like I almost was scared to slip up. Like there was not one day. I was working 7 days a week, Chris, Monday through Sunday, from March all the way till June, nonstop, bro, reading, listening to audios, working on myself, building my business, prospecting, posting on Instagram, talking here, putting there, you know, getting uncomfortable. I really started, I made sure I took advantage. The way I was thinking about it, I was like, yo, I got to make up for all the work I didn't do the first 90.
Yep.
Even though you really can't in reality, because whatever's in the past is in the past, but that's how I was working. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make up for all. So I was working 12, 14-hour days, bro, every single day, day in and day out. And bro, the rest of the year for me from there was abundant beyond belief, bro. You know, the summer was great for me. The end of the year was even better. And, you know, I was able to get to my first 6 figures that year, 2019.
Wow.
Because of that run right there.
That's a blessing right there. So you mentioned the word consistency, and something that you have proven to your audience and everybody that follows you is you go Instagram live every morning, Mornings with Neno. What made you want to start that, and what made you want to be so consistent? And you know, talk to us about that. Why did you even want to start that?
It's funny that you say that, because I love telling the story to people. So the way Mornings with Neno started, it was something that started just for like my team and my leaders. Mornings with Neno. I was on a call once with 3 of my leaders, and, you know, I was just talking with them, just checking in with them. And we were just kind of having a conversation on what are some things that we could do better this summer to like improve. And like, you know, we were kind of like game planning kind of stuff. And I remember at the time, and this was 2019, by the way, 2019, that year that I started off slow. That same year was the year that I started Mornings with Neno, but it was in the summer. And, you know, what I told you, from March till June, I was so consistent, bro. Like I was working my butt off. And my leaders, when we jumped on that call in June, it was June 19th to be exact, bro. It was June 19th to be exact. You know, we were talking and they said, bro, you've been killing it. You've been consistent every single day, bro. Like we see you every morning. Like I had just started my morning routine and I was being consistent with it. Bro, I have been consistent for over 100+ days straight, bro. Like just grinding my face off. And we jumped on that call and they said, yo, we would love if, you know, you start waking up in the mornings and just, you know, motivating us and helping us get our day started and teaching us the morning routine and everything. And I said, yeah, bro, let's do it. We start tomorrow at 9 a.m., you know, and that was June 20th, which was the official start date of Mornings with Neno. And the first few days, you know, I told them that we were going to do Mornings with Neno up until the event that we were having for the company in September. So in reality, it was just up until it was supposed to be a 3-month thing, a 90-day thing. Yo, we're going to do this for 90 days. I'm going to jump on every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And we're just going to do this. And at the beginning, it was just for my team and my leaders. It would be like 20, 30 people on there. And then I said, you know what, let me just open it up to everybody. I have a lot of business partners and colleagues. Let me let their teams hop on too. Like, yo, here, send this to your people. Yeah, I do these calls every morning, bro. I would love if you share it with your people. And I started sharing. I started going IG live, and bro, everybody just started loving the messages. And, you know, it was just something that, you know, people appreciated. It was like something that was missing in people's lives and stuff. And for those 3 months, it was game changing, because when I started them, I was only making $2,000 a month, right? That's where I was at. And when I came to Dallas, by Dallas, I was already making $5,000 a month. So Mornings with Neno was like really helping me get my name out there. Like people were noticing how great of a mentor I was and the things I was teaching. And then when I went to Dallas, funny thing, bro, people knew like that was a story. Like Mornings with Neno's over when we get to Dallas for the event. bro, hundreds of people, bro, everybody I talk to, like, bro, you cannot stop those calls. Like,
That's
without those
crazy.
calls, bro, like, you don't understand, bro. You've saved my life. And
Wow.
I had people crying, telling me, bro, you cannot stop those calls. Like, that's a part of my day. Like, I don't know what I would do if you stopped doing those calls. Like, and it wasn't like if it was just one or two people, bro. Literally almost every single person knew who I was, and everybody wanted, I felt like a celebrity, bro. It was like, everybody was so happy because of the value that I was bringing on these calls, because I was being transparent.
Right.
I was on the journey with them. Like,
With them.
imagine having a mentor every day with you that is there with you on the journey. A lot of our mentors, they already made it. They already made the millions. Imagine if your mentor could be there every step of the way. So, I said, you know what? Let's just continue to do them. And, I just fell in love with the idea of helping people. And then as I started to read more and started to learn more about, what my purpose on life is, I learned that our purpose on life here is to serve and to help others accomplish their full potential. And, when I realized that I was serving my purpose unconsciously, like, I was just doing it because I loved them and I loved what, the feedback that I was getting from people and the fulfillment that I was getting. But what I realized was, after some time, that I'm like, yo, I'm really truly serving my purpose here. And that's when I really started to even love it even more and, appreciate it even more, because I'm like, yo, I'm on earth doing what God wants me to do, which is help and to serve. And bro, I've been doing them now for over 2.5 years. In June, it'll be 3 years straight, every day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. The only time those calls don't happen is if I'm on a flight or if I'm out of the country. But if I'm home and I'm in front of a laptop, if I'm on the phone, Mornings with Neno is done every day, 9 a.m. Hasn't failed for 2.5 years, bro.
Crazy. Something else that I learned from you at the conference is you had this quote. You said people have uphill dreams but have downhill habits, right? I'm curious, how can, in your perspective, how can people, and you kind of broke it down throughout the podcast so far, how can people vibrate on a higher frequency, right? Bob Proctor, rest in peace, Bob Proctor, he kind of broke it down in one of his messages. He said that people's goals are up here. They're like to the ceiling, and you need to vibrate up here to get there. But people are vibrating down here. Their habits are down here. So what are some of the ways that people can close that gap or even start vibrating on a higher level so they can get around people like yourself that are high level entrepreneurs and add value? So how can people raise their vibration, in your opinion?
That's a phenomenal question, bro. And for me, the way I raise my vibration is my morning routine. My morning routine is my bread and butter. Outside of God, my morning routine is the reason why I have everything today. I created everything in my morning routine. For me, my mornings are sacred. That is time that I value, I cherish. I read this quote once that from one of my favorite authors, Robin Sharma. He wrote the book, The 5 a.m. Club. And he said that people who wake up early, they cherish those hours. So what he said was that the time that people spend sleeping, us successful people, we spend that time up cherishing and appreciating those hours. So I'm up every morning, bro, 5:55 a.m. And when I wake up, bro, my goal is that time is for me. I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be texting anybody. I don't want to check any emails. All right. That time is my time. Okay. I don't want to be distracted by TVs, nothing. And what I do is, bro, I focus on making sure that I get connected with who I really am, truly, truly am, and understanding myself. So, I wake up, just to give you a short routine here. First thing I do is I pray and I thank and I give gratitude, right? You have to give gratitude, right? They say that gratitude and love are the two highest forms of emotion. So if you want to raise your vibration, the only way you can raise your vibration is through your thoughts, number one, and your emotions, number two. Okay, that's how you raise your vibrations, through thoughts and emotions. That's what keeps you at a high vibration. So the moment I wake up, think about it. It's not grab my phone let me get on Instagram and check what happened last night or who posted this and
Mm-hmm.
war and COVID and all of this. No, it's me wake up and thank you, God. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my family. Thank you for allowing me to, wake up on another day and serve my purpose. Thank you for my mom, my dad. Thank you so much for my successful business. Thank you for all the great people that you keep in my life, and I'm just praying to him and thanking him and just making sure that I give all the glory, just being a selfless person from the moment I wake up. And then once I'm done brushing my teeth, I grab my goal card and I read my goals to myself. I want to read my goals. I want to remind myself the direction that I'm going. What's the purpose for today? What's the direction? Okay. And I'm reading my goals and I'm doing it while I'm brushing my teeth too, bro. So like I have my goal card in one hand and I'm brushing my teeth with the other hand. And I'm reminding myself of that goal every single, like, mind you, this is what I'm thinking about. And I do these things because they say that whatever you feed your mind within the first 10 minutes of you waking up will determine your thoughts for the rest of the day. So as long as I'm every day doing that, boom, think about it. If all I want to do is think about my goals, then I got to, think about my goals a lot within the first 10 minutes. So you become what you think about. That's The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. If you haven't heard that audio, bro, highly recommend it. It's called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And the strangest secret is that you become what you think about most. So if I can install my goals in my mind every morning, okay, I'll think about them throughout the time, throughout the days and the weeks and the months, and I usually become them. So I install that first. I grab something to drink and, drink some water. And I eat a fruit. I eat a piece of fruit. I keep it very simple. And remember, guys, sometimes in the morning, you're not tired. You're just dehydrated. So sometimes it's good to just wake up and have some water right away and you'll wake up. But once I do that simple stuff right there, then my goal is to read. Sorry, no, not read, is meditate for at least 10 to 15 minutes. I want to read for at least 30 minutes. I want to journal my thoughts, my emotions, and how I'm feeling. And then I also want to work out as well while listening to audio. So I don't listen to music when I work out. I listen to, personal development audios. Like you mentioned, the great Bob Proctor, rest in peace his soul, right? I listen to the Bob Proctors of the world, Jim Rohn, Kevin Trudeau, okay? All these great speakers, I'm taking the time. Now think about it. This is all within the first 3 hours of my day. And I haven't jumped on Instagram. The only way I jump on Instagram is to maybe take the picture just to have it for accountability. So when I look back at the end of the day, I can see what I did. But besides that, bro, no messages have been answered. No emails have been checked. No phone calls have been done. This whole time has just been positive information. Just me, myself, and me. And bro, that puts me at the highest vibration to start my day. Think about somebody who woke up at 9 a.m. at that very point right there, grabbed their phone, got on Instagram, boom, boom. And think about me who woke up at basically 6 a.m. and I've been working on myself for 3 hours. Who you think is going to have a better day, me or the person that woke up at 9 a.m.?
Not even a question.
So they're at a low vibration because they start their day right away with wars, Instagram, comparing themselves. Man, this person has this, that, all of this, all that bombarding. I got to go to work. They hate their job. They have low vibrations. They haven't even said thank you. They didn't pray in the morning. They're frustrated about the fact that they got to go and work for 8 hours now. Like, that's low vibration. Then in me, I've been practicing gratitude. I've been meditating. I read a book. I listened to my audio. I wrote my goal down. I journaled my feelings. I have a plan for the day. I'm ready to go. I'm more prepared. And usually those that are more prepared are the ones that execute the best.
There it is right there. Wow. I think something else, hearing you speak about your morning routine, it's also very intentional, right? Everything you do is very intentional. I notice in the morning, like you say, you grab a piece of fruit, the water, brushing your teeth,
everything
while reading your goals and whatnot. So you also said something that reminds me of somebody, and I wanted to ask you, who are some people, maybe they're athletes, maybe it's an entrepreneur, a speaker that you draw inspiration from, that you really enjoy to study and listen to? I know for myself, just one person, also rest in peace his soul, Kobe Bryant.
Same.
Right? Like, same, I trust me, I grew up playing basketball. Like, basketball was my first love, like baseball was your love. But with him, I would not only study him on the court, but off the court, like how he would talk to people, how he would interact with people, like his mindset, everything. I would literally study this guy. And I love what you said, because in one of his speeches, he was like, look, by me waking up early and getting my workout in earlier than the person waking up at 9, just look at the gap of how much better I am than the next person, right? It'll take you like 5 years to catch up to me, because I'm waking up at 4, working out, coming home, resting, working up at 9, or working out at 9, resting, working out at 3, resting. And then, he gets about 4 sessions in the day. You probably only getting in 1 or 2. So it's kind of the similar thing what you're explaining right now, is like you're getting such a head start on your day, and vibrating at that high frequency is people, you're light ahead of people, right? So who are some people that you look up to, maybe like 1 or 2 people that you draw inspiration from?
Yeah, bro. I'll say, I number one for sure as well, Kobe Bryant, bro. Like I've installed the Mamba mentality in my mind since I was young, bro. Like you said, bro, when Kobe passed, bro, like I remember, bro, it was like one of my best friends passed away. Like I cried the whole day, bro. I'll be honest with you. I know for some people, I remember I tell people that, and they'd be like, nah, bro, it was good for me, but it was the impact that he had in me. Even though I never met him, it was what he did for me mentally. Like I know a lot of the success that I had accomplished was because me wanting to emulate his mindset, be the first one up, be the hardest working person in the room, pushing myself. Like he was my example, like that was like a mentor that I never had. But he was there because I would study him on the basketball court. I would study his videos, and he has great interviews, bro, just talking about it. And even still to this day, I listen to him. But outside of Kobe, I know we can relate on that, bro. The person I study is my dad, bro. My dad is, one of the hardest working people that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I've watched my dad. He's a cab driver, a taxi, in New York City. He's been doing it for over 40 years, bro. But I've been living for 27, bro. And for 27 years, I've watched him wake up every single day, bro, at 5 a.m. and work from 6 to 5, bro, every single day, broski. Like,
and dealing, not only that, but how we
7 days a week.
Dealing with people, you know what I'm saying? Is
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's
dealing
crazy.
with people, bro. And, and he never complained once, bro. There were days that he was up late. There were days that we were bad. There were days that him and my mom argued. There were days that he didn't feel good, but bro, he always showed up and went to work, bro. It was, and that a lot of people ask me like, yo, where does that consistency come from? And it's because I subconsciously already seen it from my dad. That's already in me. Like that slacking off is not, my dad wasn't a lazy person. He was working every single day, Monday through Sunday, bro. Like I've seen him go, 200, 300 days straight, no days off, showing up every day, always the money, his consistency, even with every day he would leave me. And this was when I was a little older now. Those $20 every day, bro, Monday through Sunday, he would leave those $20. He would always come in right before he went to work. He put those $20. That was like his thing for us, bro. Like, and always, it was just so beautiful to watch, bro. So like subconsciously, it's always been installed in me. Like the consistency is everything, bro. Like just every day, the work ethic, through everything, through ups, through downs, through the struggles, through the arguments, through everything, you show up, you show up, you show up, you show up. And he was doing it for a bigger purpose. He was doing it for me and my little brother. And that's why I keep saying us, for it was, and my mom as well. And he's never made an excuse, bro. And I can't make an excuse because he never made one,
Absolutely.
So I'm just following his example. So he's really like my idol. He's the one I really look up to.
I love that. Love that. So we can start wrapping this thing up pretty quickly. Something I want to touch on real quick is crypto. I would love to hear, your thoughts about it, and briefly, what about crypto are you involved in? What aspects of crypto are you involved in? You mentioned the NFTs. How do you see it affecting your business and whatnot? I would love to know your thoughts about it.
Well, bro, I think the crypto space, the NFT, the whole metaverse stuff is an incredible field that everybody needs to be in. for the simple fact that we're going from a physical world to a digital world. So it's not that it's just something that's a few people are going to do. It's the whole world that is doing it. Okay. And right now it's in the very early stages of it. And what I tell people is like, guys, this is your opportunity to really become successful in a field before it blows up for real. Like you can take the time right now and educate your stuff in this and, you know, put your work in and understand, you know, what's the future and where it's going, because, you know, our money, the physical money, we're not going to be using that in the next 2 to 3 years. Everything is going to go digital 100%. You know, so we want to understand these things. And, you know, our whole lives, especially if we come from the bottom, you know, we come from a place where we're always behind the curve. We always find out about things at the end, because that's it. The rich people got in first. You know, the ones who had access to the information got in first, and we're getting in at the end of the thing, just when the wave is already over, you know? So this is my opportunity to get in even before the wave even starts. Like I'm in and the wave just started. Like remember, Chris, I got started with this in 2017. This is what got me to be who I am today, bro, because for 3 years from 2017 to 2020, I was doing crypto, investing into the financial markets, all this stuff. But since it wasn't popular, it wasn't something that people thought that they needed. Yeah, I was successful. Yeah, I was able to make money. But where my whole life changed was in 2020 when COVID hit and the pandemic happened. Because now millions of people lost their jobs. And guess what? Who was the plug to teach people how to make money online? I was. So because I was the plug now, I brought a service that everybody needed. And bro, thousands of people joined my platform. Thousands of people joined my business because now they wanted to learn about the crypto space. And it's just such a beautiful space, bro, especially with NFTs. You know, I have friends of mine. I currently don't own, but a Bored Ape, but you know, the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, the one that you see all these celebrities buying for 200,000, 300,000. Like I have friends of mine that are owners of these NFTs. And for those who don't know what an NFT is, an NFT for short is a non-fungible token, which is basically anything that, you know, can be digitized. It can be a picture, it can be furniture, it can be, you know, a physical object. There's so many things that can be, you know, turned into an NFT. And with these Bored Apes, a Bored Ape is basically like a key to a secret society. Okay. And this society is a society of multiple, you know, 6, 7, and 8-figure earners in the crypto space that you get to learn and network with. So, you know, the information that I also have access to is phenomenal. And then the metaverse, bro, the metaverse is, you know, you see Facebook turn their name into Meta. And it's because, you know, in the future, we're going to be wearing headsets where we can live in a 3D virtual world while having, you know, these glasses. I know now we have the big Oculuses, right? But just like we have those big Oculus, that's going to evolve to like a better version of it eventually, to the point where it'll just be like regular glasses, and we'll be able to put on regular glasses, but we'll be living in a 3D virtual reality. But these things, you want to learn how to take advantage of them and learn how to leverage them. You don't want them to eat you up. That's the thing, because that's the problem. A lot of people will allow these things to eat you up, but as long as you're aware as to what you want to do with this, you should be able to use this, you know, this digital space to elevate yourself, use it as a way to invest, put yourself in rooms where, you know, a lot of people are not in nowadays. You know, like Elon Musk is in the digital space heavy, you know, Jeff Bezos. My mentor always said, yo, follow the money. All the top companies in the world are going into the crypto NFT space right now in the metaverse. Nike has a store in the metaverse already. You know what I'm saying? They own NFTs already. Next thing you know, Nike will come out with a crypto coin. You know, there's just so much stuff that, you know, is starting off, and this is a great opportunity for you to get in and take advantage and blow up. So, you know, I tell you, and everybody listening to the beautiful struggle, if I were you, ask questions, make sure that you're educating yourself on the space, because this could be a great space that you can add as an extra source of income to your current salary, because all of it is done from your phone and your home. So you don't got to work, you know, go and check in for this. This is all done from your home. So if you're somebody listening to this, please take advantage of this space, because it is really, really growing, bro.
A lot of game, a lot of wisdom. A quick question about the Bored Ape Club, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Are they the people that purchase the ape, are they giving like an invitation to like a Discord room that only
Yep.
okay. I was just curious how that worked because I know most of these platforms. So that's pretty insane because
Yeah, because once you buy it, now you're official. Like you're an official
yeah.
Bored Ape holder. So now you have access. Like I said, it's a key to like an exclusive club.
Yeah.
You
And I
know, and
mean,
stuff like that.
like Nano's saying, there's a lot of like even celebrities that own these things. So the fact that
Mhm.
you're in the room with these people is just nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. One of my friends owns the number 15, the rank
Mm.
15
Mm-hmm.
NFT for. I mean, the number 15 Bored Ape.
Mm-hmm.
That one is worth 1.3 million. Because
Mm.
the lower the rank, the more it's worth. So
Right,
there's
right.
Bored Apes that, floor price is 200-300, which means that's the least you could get it for, and that's like the least rare one. There's rare ones that are going for 2 million, 3
Yeah.
million.
Yeah. And
You know what I'm saying?
I think he meant 200,000-300,000, not dollars. Two, three
Yeah,
hundred
yeah, yeah. Two,
thousand.
300,000. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. A lot of game, a lot of great information. Glad that we got to make it happen. One last thing I always have my guests do for the audience is leave the audience with them with one last gem, one last piece of advice. It can be NFT related, business related. I know you gave a lot of game, but one last piece of gem, and we can end it on that note.
Well, I'll give you two
All right,
because
let's
you're
do
my
it.
boy, right? One, what I would say is, you know, you got to do things you've never done to
Mm.
get things you've never had. Okay. And remember, if you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice.
Ooh,
Okay.
ooh.
So you got to understand that this year is going to be a year of you getting uncomfortable and of you making sacrifices. Okay. That's one piece of advice I wanted to give you. And another piece of advice that has to do with crypto. If I were you, go on Coinbase.
Mm.
Okay. There's a coin called Solana.
Mm.
Soln. No, Solana.
Yep.
Solana. And right now it's about $100. This coin one day will be worth hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Mm.
Okay. This is one of the coins that are used to buy NFTs. It's an up and coming project. It's huge. It's coming out with his own metaverse, digital real estate, a lot of great utilities. Right now, it's only worth $100. If what I would do if I were you, which is what I do, is put it on reoccurring payments, where basically every week or every 2 weeks or every month, you can choose, buy Solana. Buy it now while it's low. The markets are low right now.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on reoccurring payments where every week you take out $50, $100, $200 and put it into that coin and just let it pile up. And a year from now, 2 years from now, you'll come back to this podcast and you'll be like, man, I'm so glad that I jumped on when Neno said. And if you're listening to this and it's 2023, 2024, 2025, I want you to stop doing what you're doing and go look at the price of Solana. Right now, the price of Solana is at $100.
Mm.
Let us know what it is and look at how many people probably missed out on the opportunity.
Ooh, that gives me the chills, man. I'm definitely heavy into Solana. By the way, this is not financial advice.
Yeah,
So
it's not financial advice.
invest at your own risk. But I love the advice, man. We really appreciate you. Where can people find you? Where can people reach out to you if they want to hit you up? And I guess I listen to Morning with Nanos, and I guess you have some other things that you would love to promote as well too.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. You can find me on Instagram majority. That's where I have my major presence. It's at Long Live Neno, LONG, Long Live LIVE, Live Neno, NENO. That's my Instagram. You can also find me on YouTube under Mornings with Neno. As well. You can find all my calls on there every day. I go live 9 a.m., 9:05-ish. You can find my podcasts on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and I think you can find me on also Facebook as well under either Neno Torres
For
as
sure.
well. So that's about it, bro. That's where everybody can find me. Like I said again, bro, I just want to give you my thank you for having me on this podcast. It was a pleasure. I'm glad that we got a chance to do it. And You know, I'm wishing you more wealth, more prosperity, more blessings, more everything, bro, all of 2022. I know that your podcast is going to be ranked within the top 50 this year. And I know that you're going to be, you know, a very, very successful person, bro. So wishing you nothing but the best. And thank you so much for having me.
Man, I appreciate that. And I receive all of that. Once again, I appreciate your time. And it's your boy, Chris. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
God bless, bro.